Welcome to the 47th Annual AAKP National Patient Meeting. I'm Jennifer Jones, a retired Marine veteran, member of both the AAKP National Board of Directors and Executive Committee, and an AAKP National Ambassador. My kidney journey began while I was deployed to Afghanistan in 2011. In what felt like a blink of an eye, I went from serving as a combat camera videographer to being medically retired in 2013 due to being diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disease called membranoproliferative glomerulonephritis type 1 idiopathic. Throughout my journey with kidney disease, I've experienced both in-center and peritoneal dialysis and transplantation. I'm pleased to share that I am currently just a year out on my second kidney transplant. I became involved with AAKP because I not only understand how important it is to be educated about the healthcare issues and treatment options as a kidney patient, but it is also important for all kidney patients to know what programs are out there to improve our quality of life, what technological advances are being made to give us more choices in treatment, where our elected officials stand on kidney disease, and how they're supporting policies to ensure that all have access to quality care and treatment, and how necessary that our voices are heard. Being a part of AAKP has allowed me to be a part of the Scientific Registry of Transplant Recipients Task 5 Steering Committee, of the NIDDK Health Disparities, Health Equity Working Group of Council, participate in multiple Capitol Hill days, both in person and virtually, clinical trials, speaking opportunities, and most importantly, the opportunity to meet and collaborate with some of the most passionate, intelligent, and selfless individuals who do so much for other kidney patients while also enduring chronic kidney disease themselves. Having experienced various treatment options to help manage my kidney disease, it became apparent just how important it is we as patients raise our voice and become the leader of our own healthcare team, to demand access to the latest innovations in treatment options and devices that are available, and to ensure true shared decision-making starts and ends with us, the patient. This is why I'm so pleased to moderate today's session on Speaker Secrets, how to effectively incorporate a policy statement into your personal kidney journey for maximum impact. Through the AAKP's Center for Patient Engagement and Advocacy and Center for Patient Research and Education, the association is dedicated to engaging and training kidney patients in ways that are the most effective at elevating the patient voice and providing practical skills that they can implement throughout their kidney journey. And today's session does exactly that. We are honored to have with us Mr. Jack Kalavritinos, founder and principal of JK Strategies. Jack is a public affairs and health communications expert, having spent over 20 years working in senior corporate and association leadership, as well as the highest level of government, including the White House, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Department of Labor, and U.S. Food and Drug Administration. As an AAKP board member and ambassador, I know, like many of you watching, that many opportunities are presented to patients to share our personal story with kidney disease. Jack will walk us through how to make the most out of any speaking engagement by not only sharing our important and unique journey, but to make an impact that may help shape research, innovation, or policy. Jack, welcome. I turn it over to you.
Great, and thank you, Jennifer, for that. And hello, folks. I'm really looking forward to this because having been in government in two different administrations, having been an advocate for various interests, both healthcare and non-healthcare, this is a topic that is meaningful to me, and I look forward to just sharing a couple of ideas with you all. Really, the topic is how to make the policy statement that is so important to the AAKP, how to embed it into your own personal kidney journey so that it makes the most important impact, because everyone doesn't always do that. Sometimes patient advocates are so passionate, as they should be, about their own story that they don't embed that very important, policy statement within there. So having been on the receiving end of a lot of advocacy groups, whether it's industry, whether it's patient, whether it's providers, and heard the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here are just a couple thoughts. The first one is, try at the very top of your statement after introducing yourself to really give the headline in your own words, in a phrase of that policy statement that you care so much about. I wouldn't just jump right into and then 2 minutes into it, say it. So I would introduce myself and then say, I'm looking to, highlight this particular issue that is so important. Then go ahead and give your personal story, and highlight details that you feel comfortable talking about. Then make sure that you say, how is it that this policy would have made a difference to you if it was already in place? So whether it's a reimbursement issue, which I know is of utmost importance, whether it's a regulatory approval issue, no matter what the issue is, make sure that you state after your own personal story how that policy would have made a real difference for you. Secondly, and I know this is a basic one, but go ahead and say where you're from. Say what state you're from. Policymakers like hearing that. They can, draw conclusions. Oh, we've heard a lot from, New York patients, or ones from California or Texas. You never know if any of the people that are listening to this are from those states, and it will resonate with them. So go ahead when you're making this personal too. I'm not saying you have to give your zip code and talk about, the neighborhood that you're in, but the more geographic details that you can give, I have found, the better. Third, stress the importance of policymakers taking into account patient voices generally to make this important change for you, for others like you, and for caregivers. That's obviously, it might seem very basic to say that, but, go ahead, and you're not really calling them out, but you're saying that there's an understanding. You come to an issue with your own views and those of people that you report to and other stakeholder groups that are, trying to communicate, to you in various ways, but you are imploring and encouraging that policymakers take into account patient voices, kidney patient voices, when they're making important decisions and they're deliberating on matters that can truly impact whether you all have access to the most important and innovative products, devices, medications. And lastly, and this is something that I also said in the talk that we gave about comment letters, find a way to bridge to an item. That's fine if it's just one that policymaker cares deeply about. We all know policymakers have their key priorities, and oftentimes what we're talking to them about is really not one of their priorities, is not what they ran on, it's not what they speak about in their stump speeches. But if you're able to take one of their overarching issues, especially on healthcare, and to find a way to weave your particular issue, the AAKP policy matter, into what it is that they already believe, that's persuasive, and it's also appreciated as well by them, because you're sort of doing their work for them. They're staff people that are looking for ways to make interest groups happy and their bosses, the policymakers, happy. And one of the easiest ways to do it is to draw that connection, for them. So hopefully today, I've given you some ideas. You all have your own personal ways of persuading and communicating to people, and this isn't about trying to change those. In fact, I say go ahead and use those methods that have been most successful for you at work, at church, with civic groups, with your family. But some of those points that I gave you, I think will help to make your comments and your speech, your presentation even more effective with policymakers and others. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jack, for an insightful presentation. The information you shared will help us all be better prepared to making the most of our opportunities to share our story and personal experiences.